What's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salute, salute, salute. Cheers. Yeah. Oh my God, coffee, it's really good this morning. And so is our guest. We have a great guest today, Maestro Joe Pazzaglia from Johnstown, New York. And he's been in the arts for a long time. He started in Kenpo in the late 80s, but he's part of the East Coast Kenpo Kenpo community. And he has a very interesting background, very interesting stories to share. He's a very solid Kenpoist, and I've actually followed him in social media for a while. And now I have the honor to have him here on the show. So please, let's welcome Maestro Pazzaglia.
Hey, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. It's nice to have you here, my friend. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Okay, let's see. Before we start, okay, may I remind you to please leave a comment, okay? And follow us on YouTube, okay? Look for the Kinetic Dragon. We're on YouTube. We're actually going live right now on YouTube. So please follow us and join YouTube and like and share this video. That really helps to all the Kenpo guys. And you can also follow us in Facebook at Kinetic Dragon. Okay, so we are there. And we already have a comment. International Hall of Fame says, saludos from Santa Fe, Argentina. Sifu
Wow.
Ernesto Goldbrenner.
Wow, that's amazing.
Cool.
Very cool.
Nice, nice. So let's hold on a second. And also, I want to invite everybody. This weekend, we have our Kenpo Coffee Collaboration online seminar with such a fine gentleman, great Kenpoist. We have Master Richie Matthews from Old Jersey. We have Senior Professor Scott Gonzalez from Phoenix, Arizona. Also, Senior Professor Damian Abbott from Exeter, England. And myself, we're going to be doing a seminar, an online seminar through Zoom. Please join. We're going to have some fun. I know it's going to be early in the morning for the guys here on the West Coast, but still, it's going to be, I think it's going to be a good experience to share. And this all comes from what we're doing here. It's so I'm very honored to be there. Okay, so my friend, I usually, when I start the show with a new guest, before we, let's see, Ben Harm says, hi guys, greeting from Kenpo, UK.
Wow. Hey, Ben, how you doing? I call him Papa Bear. He's Papa Bear to me.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, Papa Bear, yep. Big, old, strong guy, man, sweet as can be, but man, he is tough as nails,
Cool. Well, thank you, sir. My regards. Okay, so could you tell us a little bit about your background, how you started in Kenpo? Just briefly, where did you start? Who did you start training with? And, take us up to date so people get to know you.
So basically, I started I started in Kenpo back in the early 80s when Jeff Speakman first came out with the Perfect Weapon and whatnot. He had come to New York and he was doing a few seminars in the area, and we had attended his seminars, and then over time, him and my instructor Steve Holden developed quite a relationship with one another, and things kind of evolved and snowballed from there. And I started going to the Kenpo camps, the Speakman camps out in Vegas, and I think I hit just about every one of those. And
did you go to the Baltimore camp, the first one in '96?
I didn't go to that one. No, I wanted to though. Really,
I went to that
it would have
one.
been a lot easier than going to Vegas. I don't know what happened, but for some reason I missed that one, and I heard all about it though.
It
Yeah,
was good. It was good.
I
I was
know.
there.
I heard that. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people actually. Um, so anyway, yeah, so I was going to the camps out there in Vegas, and long story short, my instructor and him end up becoming really good friends. And over time, Speakman offered him an opportunity to run one of his schools out in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they did. So he ended up leaving, and that's how my school started. And then we kind of they went their way, I went my way. I still went to seminars whenever I could, but then that's when Larry Tatum started running his camps in Vegas as well. So I started going to those.
So you had
And
a studio already?
yeah. By that
When
point,
did
I
you
already
open
had
up
my.
your studio?
What's that?
Which year did you open up your own studio?
Oh my God! I think it was 1999. I opened it up. I think, but we had
Wow.
already been. Yeah. So it's been a long time, and it was a rough transition because my roots were originally in Okinawan and Shotokan, and so
Okay.
making that transition from those styles into Kenpo was very difficult because we're in a relatively small community in upstate New York, so it's very rural, and so Kenpo was just not around. There was no place to go. So everything we had to learn, we had to travel and attend seminars for or whatever. And
I I see that you wear on your gi, you have embroidery a kanji here and on the sleeve. What does that say?
so when I first started out, this is a conversation that I had with my instructor Steve Holden. We agreed at one point in time that I wanted to have my own school someday, and I didn't want to be affiliated with any particular styles or organizations or anything like that. So,
Good for
um,
you.
so quite honestly, with that kanji on the front part, it's a loose translation for the words martial arts and me. But I guess a better way of saying that is the way of the warrior or Budo. So that's kind of what that means on the front. So that was the original name of the school, was Martial Arts and Me, which a lot of people didn't think was too catchy, But when you look at what we do, that's what it's really all about. And so I kept it pretty simple. And on the sleeve is the kanji for courage, bravery.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, so then, I started going to the Tatum seminars in Vegas. Then he did one in New York, and he had Francisco Vigorous with him, and that's how I met Frank. And and uh, and then things just kind of took off from there. That was probably the first organization that a Kenpo organization that I affiliated with was Larry Tatum's. I was saying off air that I never walked into a room with so many people and seeing them move so fast, so amazing. It was just incredible, you
This
know.
was in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
So it
The one
was
in
early
Vegas.
2000.
That's what. Yeah, the one in Vegas was the first one I walked into, and that's what got me hooked. And then when I found out he was going to be in New York, I made a point of going to that, you know. But before I forget, I wanted to say something right from the get go. And I forgot to mention this, but I wanted to thank you actually for having me on here, and
Oh,
and
my
I
pleasure.
always wanted to make sure I made a point of thanking everybody else because this is important to me. I wanted to make a point of thanking everybody that's kind of been part of my journey as far as getting me to where I'm at right now, and that means everybody from overseas to Pat Kennedy and John Ward and Damian Abbott and the Harms and even my friends up in Canada and people like yourself. So yeah, just a great group of people, and I don't take that stuff for granted. So I'm extremely grateful for everything that everybody's done to help me get where I'm at. So I wanted to make a point of saying thank you to you and people like yourself. So
Well, You're welcome. I only invited you here, so thank you for accepting the invitation.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and you've been around, fine gentlemen. You know, I know Frank Vigorous well. You know, I met him. I think it was 98, 90, yeah, 98. I met him back in the old Green Street studio, the Larry Tatum studio.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, you know, I know most of the guys you have mentioned. Well, Cliff, William, all the guys there, they were, you know, my seniors in the art when I was there. Um, uh, and also I met Damien back in 99, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
So,
I was out at Tatum's Green Street studio on several occasions. So, you know, it's funny because I sat on a couple of test boards and with him at out there. And I'm almost thinking we probably met at some point in time. Just didn't realize it, you know?
well, what you remember what year you were there?
No, no, I don't
It
honestly.
was probably
Sorry.
after I left because
Yeah,
I left the LTKKA in 2000.
oh, okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
probably missed you by, you know, some months
Yeah,
or years
it
or
was
something.
yeah, it was after that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I bet. Let's see. We have a lot of comments here. Okay, let's see. Luke C says, "Hey, Joe." Okay, Ben Harm says, "Good. Thanks, guys. Thank you, sir, for watching." Yeah, here we are. Frank Vigorius says, "Great guy and a personal friend. Big hug to Joe and to you as well, Frank. Same to you, my friend."
Yeah, he's an amazing guy, man. I've never seen anybody sacrifice so much in my life to get where they're at, man. He's a truly amazing guy.
Well, he was here in the podcast like a month ago, and we were talking, and I mentioned that to him. You know, um, he left home
I
basically. He
know it.
left his family and everything, his country and everything, and went to another country with a different language, and got there and struggled. You know, went through all this hustle and
Yep.
struggling and all that, and he's been really successful. You know, he's an inspiration within the Kenpo community and also for the Latin community. You know, there's a
Oh,
lot of people
absolutely.
that are inspired by his work and his actions and his story. You know,
Oh,
because he is a successful man and he has a story of success. You know,
yeah.
and that
Yeah.
doesn't come easy. So yeah, I think he's a great guy, you know, and very happy for his success. Vangelis Drosos, hello, Master Frank Soto. Hello, sir. Okay, Damien Abbott says, Joe and Frank Vigorius gave me my first opportunity to teach a mainline seminar in the States 7-8 years ago. And in return, Joe was on the list of the first presenters at the calling. Wow, nice.
Yeah, that's a good time, and that was great. That was the first time I ever got to ride a rhino. That's a lot. I'm sure there's pictures of that floating around somewhere. In Exeter, they had this thing where there was these statues of rhinoceroses everywhere, and well, I'll just leave it at that. And I didn't understand what it was, but somehow I ended up riding one. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be
Yeah,
quite a story.
I'll let Damien tell you that story.
Okay, okay. You heard that, Damien? You're gonna have to tell that one.
Yeah.
Here's a picture he just sent of you guys.
Yeah, that was in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, that's nice. It looks like I was gonna say it looks like Niagara Falls.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to
There's
come out
another
this
one.
way.
What's that?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to come out this way sometime. We'll take
Yeah,
you
I would
around.
love that. You know, I visited the Niagara Falls with a friend back in '97.
Oh, really?
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I was actually living in Pasadena, and I got a weekend off, and I went and visited a friend of mine. Well, he's my brother, who was living. He was living in Albany, and then we, you know,
okay.
in a little bit and went to the Niagara Falls for a night.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about a half an hour from Albany.
Wow, yeah, beautiful places, man.
Yeah.
You're in a very beautiful place. I remember that much. It's still a little bit fussy because I used to drink a lot back in those
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Well, I think we all been through that, haven't we? Yeah,
Yeah, I don't drink anymore, but yeah,
yeah,
back in
yeah.
the days, oh man. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, especially after advanced class in Green Street, we used to go out
Oh,
to a bar or something and get.
those are pain meds. Yeah.
Okay. Frank Fenning says hello from Germany.
Wow. Thank you, Frank, very much. Appreciate it.
Cliff Seminario says Joe is an amazing martial artist with a strong depth of knowledge, master of the Guido fist and misplacer of wallets.
Yeah. Well, we met. Well, we didn't meet, but we met up again over in Exeter, in England, and me and him and a few others ended up walking all over the place. One of us had lost a wallet. That's not important right now. We won't say who it was, but all I know is by the end of the night they were calling me Gabagool. I don't know what that is, but but yeah, Cliff is a great guy, man. We had such a great time, and I want to say too. I watched the interviews that you did with him, and it's funny because I've talked to him quite a bit, over the years, and I actually learned a lot about him and his coming up through the ranks and stuff, and his journey just from watching your show. A lot that I didn't know, and so after your program, we talked again, and I said, man, I see. You still got that Italian temper, at least you used to have that Italian temper. And he goes, no, I still got it. He goes like that. So, but he's a good guy, and I learned a lot about him, and he's a good guy, man. I'm really proud of him because it's just it's not easy to do the things that he's done, as you well know. To step out and put yourself in that in those arenas and compete and fight like that is just crazy. So kudos to him.
I met Cliffy Munster when he was 18 years old. I think he was
Yeah.
18 or 19, and then we had the Kenpo house together. We were roommates, James, Leonard, Cliff, and myself, and they were my younger brothers, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And we had great times. So I really love Cliff dearly, as
Yeah.
a younger brother. And I was the older one, not by much, but in that age, it makes more of a difference. So I
Yeah.
used to bust their cojones. I was the meaner one, but Cliff is just an amazing Kenpoist, man.
Yeah.
And jiu-jitsu guy as well. Just an amazing martial artist.
Yeah.
And that's why we share that story when we used to fight and spar and stuff like that. Because I'm way bigger than Cliff.
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot tall and like of weight. Yeah. So I'm a big guy,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I'm like 250 or something like that. And yeah, I'm probably nice to myself. Yeah, probably 260. But anyway, Cliff is a smaller guy. So that day that I got him to the wall and I said, yes, I got
Yeah.
you. He bounced back and he kicked me in the groin. I said, mother.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always good to train with him because he's just phenomenal. He helps you get to the next level. He's that type of partner.
I think it's great. I think he's doing a good thing by opening up another school again. I'm really happy for him for that.
Yes. Ben Harms, I remember it well. LOL.
Oh yeah.
Merv Orman says, good to see more talent. Thank you, sir.
Beautiful. Hi, Merv. Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, he's
I miss
definitely one of the guys I want to bring into the podcast.
Yeah.
Frank Vigorous says, thanks so much, Frank and Joe, for your wonderful words and your respect, which is mutual. It's a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah.
And I have the pleasure to share different scenarios with Frank, and we always end up having a good time, laughing. And Frank, it's also one of those guys to pushes you to get to the next level for sure.
Oh yeah. Don't tell him. I hope he's not listening, but I call him Wolverine.
Ah,
yeah.
nice.
He looks like
I call him El
Wolverine.
Matador.
Yeah. Well, he changed that. So yeah, that's what he just started. He just started calling himself that. I said, I'm sticking with Wolverine, man. He scares me. He looks like the Wolverine.
Well,
I'm waiting for those claws to come out.
Matador means killer,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it may sound nice, but you're facing a bull, right? When you're the Matador, and you also need to kill the beast. So it's a compliment. And that's one of the things that I always say about Frank Vigorous is that he makes Kenpo look good. You know, his motion. I mean, I know he's effective and he has very strong Kenpo, but his motion and everything, it just makes Kenpo look good, and that's a good thing, because you get people from different venues or different arts, and he brings attention into the art. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, his speed and his accuracy, the precision is just it's flawless. It's top notch. But funny story, real quick. Me and him were walking to the convenience store. We just got done training, and we were walking to a little store right down the street from his gym, and we were walking down the sidewalk, and all of a sudden this we didn't know who it was at the time. This kid comes up and grabs a hold of him and yells at him, and you couldn't have planned the same better. This was like something right out of Hollywood, and Frank turns to the right and I turned to the left, and we both jumped back, and we were ready to tear this guy's head off. And we turn around, we look, and there's this like 10-year-old kid there going, Sensei, it's me. That poor kid was so scared. And me and Frank we were locked and loaded and ready to go. I mean, you couldn't have planned that any better. I mean, it was just so spontaneous, but he quick turned one way and I turned the other way, and just we were on this kid like nothing. And I'll tell you, if it was a real killer, he would have been in trouble. That poor kid, he looked like he was ready to cry.
That happens.
Yeah, we never saw the kid again. I think he quit after that. I'm just kidding.
Master George Elmer says, "Wow, English, that's beautiful. Now I can understand." Hello, sir.
I have the same problem. I'm working on it, though. I'm working on it.
Yeah, Mr. Elmer says, "My sister lives in Cortland."
Oh, okay, nice. Come visit.
Nice. Yes, sir. Okay, Ahmed Carmenate Ruiz, saludos desde Cuba. Maestro Ahmed Carmente y Raúl Roque. Greetings from Cuba.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, another familiar face here. Steve Harm says, "Hey, Frank and Joe, great to see you on here. Think what you're doing there is amazing, Frank, and Joe is a testament to this art, both as a great practitioner and as a human." Thank you, sir.
Wow, awesome. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harms. And by the way, I saw the video of them testing last year, and it was amazing. Thank you for sharing, and congratulations on your new rank.
Yeah, they got such a they're truly blessed because they got such a unique opportunity and relationship. I mean, how awesome is that to be able to train, father and son like that, and be able to work together. I have a 10-year-old little girl, and I started her when she's 4, and just before this COVID hit, we were just getting ready to get her ready for a junior brown belt, and well, it's not easy, but I was kind of looking forward to getting her to that point where we could kind of have that same kind of relationship, but we're still working on it, but that's pretty amazing though that they have what they have.
Yeah, great, great. Uh, let's see. Angela, ha ha ha, riding rhinos. I'm sure there was no alcohol involved in that. And
Not a lick.
who was it that fell in the pool fully clothed in Vegas? Was that you or Cliff?
That had to be Cliff. And listen, I can tell you right now, with this is the God's honest truth. With regards to the rhinos, I can tell you right now, those rhinos did not have any alcohol whatsoever.
Good.
That is the truth. I didn't see them drink at all. That you can ask anybody.
So you don't drink coffee, but you do.
Yeah. No, I plead the fifth. I can't speak on the rhinos' behalf. I want to say something to Angela though. I met her a few times, and again, watching through your interviews and stuff like that, and stuff. Uh, I remember one time I got invited out to California, and I didn't know anybody, and I ended up staying in a hotel, but she had offered me the opportunity to stay and stay with her and whatnot, and I just thought, man, that is just such an amazing thing. You let a complete stranger into your house, and you're just so warm and open and friendly, and it was just, and then from there. It's kind of interesting. Like I never really got to know her, but I learned about her through other people. Her reputation preceded her, and then as time went on, I got to see her train. I got to see her test. I got to see her do all kinds of things. And I'm going to say something. I've heard everybody talk, but I want to say it myself. She really is a true inspiration, man. She is an amazing person and generally a real sweetheart, man. And I wish I'd had the opportunity, like everybody else, to work with her a little bit more, like everybody else did. But there's still time, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Who knows what the future holds?
She can really hit, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
she has a motel heart.
yeah,
She welcomes everybody in.
yeah.
She's
She's
just amazing.
really
She has
amazing.
a huge, beautiful heart.
Yeah.
And yes, she is like that. She's just an amazing person and also a warrior. I have
Yeah.
Angela. It's a very special person for me. I really love her dearly. She knows that.
Yeah, that was a great interview with her, and I learned a lot too. So I'm really proud of you, Angela, for what it's worth. I really am, not just saying that. I mean that from the heart. So just want to share that.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because she's probably gonna start crying or already crying.
Yeah.
We love you, Angie.
Yeah.
Andy Nolan says, "Evening, gentlemen. Hope you both are well. Joe, looking forward to seeing back in Exeter one day. We need to have that cold beer."
Oh, absolutely. He's a great guy, man. Great guy. Yep. Yeah. I met him. I forgot. He came to the one of the seminars with Damien, and just, I don't know. We just started talking, and one thing led to another, and we had some unbelievable conversation, and we've been in touch ever since. Great guy.
Nice.
I hope you're doing well, Andy. Stay well, stay strong, buddy.
George Shelmer says, "Christina Falso, what you're doing on here? Hello, Christina." Catherine Sumter says, "Hello, Master Frank and Professor Joe. Cheers from CCDP, Squim, Washington, USA. Hello, Guro."
Thank you.
Reyes Kenpo Vigorous Rancagua. Greetings to both masters. Gracias, Gonzalo. Cheers from Chile.
Nice. Thank you.
Rancagua, Chile.
Yeah, we had fun over there. Been over there a few times now.
Wow, great.
I wish you guys would hurry up and cure COVID, man. Somebody cure this damn thing so we can start having some fun again.
Yeah, agree.
This is getting out of hand, Yeah.
Roberto Hernandez Vélez, humble bow to the both of you. Thank you, sir. Bow as well. George Helmus says, "What Frank are you talking about?" We're talking about Frank Vigorous, sir, our friend.
Yeah.
Not not Mr. Trejo or any of the seniors.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Okay,
Yeah.
Maestro Scott Higgins says, Aloha, Sensei Frank and Sensei Joe. Who knew there was a Kenpo east of Los Angeles? Ha, just kidding. Hopefully,
Oh,
we will meet up on the mats at some point. Salute. Thank you,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we do a little bit here. We do a little bit.
Good, good. Cliff Seminario, wasn't me. I kept my clothes on mostly in Vegas. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know. It sounds fake.
Yeah.
I think it was you, Cliffy. It sounds like you. Angela says,
Yeah.
laughing my ass off. Good one. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Damon Abbott says, didn't see any rhinos on the upper side, Joe, but the loons and the coyotes made up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. He came up. We took him up in the mountains one time. He still wants to come back because I think he said something about he wants to try to wrestle a bear. So we're going to try to hook that up for him, make that happen. He said he wants to try his Kenpo. So we'll see what we can do.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Frank, for your compliment, I guess, in our grading. Oh, my pleasure, sir. You really did an amazing job, and I mean that. I really, really enjoyed the video. I think I saw it 2 or 3 times. Really, really like that.
Yeah.
And actually very well produced as well. You know, they did an amazing video production. So that's easier to watch, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Got you hooked all the time. And with amazing tempoist and an amazing performance, it was just very nice. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I'm terrible at all that, man. I got like 50 outtakes and I got 10 curse words in there. I gotta work on that a little bit.
Angela says, oh, bless your heart. Thank you so much. Thank you, Angie, for being who you are. James Leonard, greetings from Dublin, Joe. Look forward to seeing you on the mats again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much, James. I'm gonna come back someday. I promise you that. I'm gonna do a circuit right there. I'm gonna go from Ireland to England to Italy, South America. I'm gonna do a whole loop tour.
Yeah, you should come by Mexico as well, my friend.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mi casa, su casa.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I would love to.
Yeah, we have a big place here and even an extra bed, so you can stay anytime.
I was in Mexico in '97. I went there 2 or 3 times to compete, actually, in Manzanillo. And man, it was just an amazing time. And we competed in what they call the Pan American Games, and we fought down there, and it was televised on ESPN 1 and 2, and it was a pretty big deal. They had the governor there, and just it was massive. There was literally thousands and thousands of competitors from all over the world, and
nice.
yeah, it was really nice. And boy, what an event they put on. It was just massive. They had an outdoor theater, an outdoor venue with this like buffet where you could go there and there'd literally be 1,000 people lining up for breakfast, and they could serve those 1,000 people in 20 minutes, a half an hour. You know, it was really amazing. I wanted to go. I've been ever since I left. I wanted to go back. You know, that was a good time.
It's a beautiful place, Manzanillo, for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous.
Angela says, lots of love. Too late. You know me so well, Frank. See?
Yeah.
I told you she was crying. Love you, Angie. Let's add to that. Mr. Harms says, Angela, it's a great individual. Yeah? See, you have fans, Angie. We all love you.
Yeah, very much.
Mr. Ward says, hi, Joe and Frank. Hello, sir.
Hey, John. I look forward to coming back.
Yeah.
I'm not retired yet, fellas. Don't count me out. I mean, I had both my knees done. I had my hip done. I mean, I'm the Tin Man now, but I'm going to come back as the Iron Man pretty soon. You'll see. I'm still competing. I'm just in recovery mode right now.
You're probably around our same age I am, right?
I'll be 52 in a few days.
Oh, you're older than me then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't know. I wasn't going to say nothing.
Oh, I'm 48.
Oh, okay.
I'll be 49 this year, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm the old man of the group, man. I'm older than Frank. I'm older than Damien. The only one I'm not older than is Papa Bear Ben. But
Well, and we're not getting any younger, so we better make the most out of what we have right now. Cliff Seminario says you're not wrong. That does sound like me. See, of course, I know you, man. It does
yeah,
sound like you. Fergus Kelly said, sorry for the late hookup. Greetings from Castle Knock, Kenpo, and all of Julian's McDermott's students and fighting teammates. Thank you
wow,
for being here, sir.
yeah, really nice. Thank you.
Cliff says, Frank, you don't look a day over 47. Oh, I'm going to get you for that, my friend. See, this is how it used to be back in the days.
Yeah, no, that's good though. It's good.
So I wanted to ask you, you did the transition from Okinawan karate into Kenpo, right? How was that?
It was very difficult. But it was good. Like so. Kenpo has like the 3 points of view. There's yours, your opponent, and then that other guy on the outside looking in. I kind of always felt like I was that third person point of view. Like I'm that. Like I said, I'm kind of the newbie. I'm the new kid on the block, so to speak. I mean, maybe I've kind of been in the game as long as some others, but because geographically, because of where I'm located, it wasn't always hard. It wasn't always easy to get the information, the knowledge, And I'm
Gotcha.
not a video guy. I don't mind looking at it, but to me, there's nothing like, being on the floor. That's the lab. And so making that transition was really, really difficult. And but I've always kind of been that third person point of view, kind of watching from the outside and trying to maintain a balance between what I consider reality and and Hollywood, I could say. And it's funny because I had that same conversation in Ireland. Well, actually, I was having it with myself, and Damien Abbott was standing next to me, and he overheard me. We were watching some other people compete, and I've always kind of maintained that. Like I never deviated from that. Like I love Kenpo, and I understand it more now than I did when I first started. And I also understand that I have a lot more to learn and about not just techniques and what we do physically, but what also has to offer on a deeper level. So I'm aware of that, but I never really truly let go of my roots because I love the way I came up through the ranks. I love that old school mentality, which is why I say I love watching you guys go at it. Because to me, that's that old school mentality. You just don't find that so much anymore. People can't, they just don't train. You don't see as many people training that way anymore. So I loved what the Okinawan style, the Shotokan style. I love the way they train. It's very hardcore, and it's not for everybody. But I think that in the end, if you get through it, it makes you a better martial artist, not so much as physically, but mentally or spiritually. I think that's huge. A lot of people will start martial arts and they'll focus on the physical attributes of it, and whether they're looking at themselves or whether they're looking at somebody else, they'll focus on just the physical part of it. And wow, that was amazing. He's got a beautiful kick, beautiful form, beautiful self-defense, beautiful everything. But when reality hits, I've learned over time that none of that matters if you don't have the mental and spiritual capability to deal with whatever's thrown at you. And that's why I love the old school way of training, because it's all body hardening, body conditioning. It's conditioning the mind, the brain, to teach you how to build up a tolerance to that pain. Almost the same way you guys go through a technique line. Now, I watch you guys go through that technique line, and your average person is not going to sit there and be able to take that, right? That's something that you got to build up over time. That is all mental and spiritual. If you don't have the mental capability to deal with that pain or whatever, as you're going through it, what you do physically doesn't matter.
and that to me directly translates into what goes on in the street. If I can't take a shot on the floor, I'm not going to take a shot out there. You got to know what that feels like, you know? I'm not saying you have to like it, but you got to know how to deal with it, and you got to know how to manage it, you know? And that's really, really important to me. That's why I catch a lot of flack sometimes from the Kenpo guys, because it's always like, oh, Kenpo, Kenpo, Kenpo. And I understand that, but I like the way I train. And that's why I keep doing it. Like, you know, like I'm that old school. Like, I like going out in the wintertime, standing in the snow and banging on a tree, because it keeps my mind sharp, you know? And but to answer your question, though, it was really tough to kind of make that transition. Not necessarily forget everything that I learned, but try to find a way to hang on to it and graft it into what I was learning as far as the Kenpo goes. You know, I don't think when you do something for that long, you can ever really let it go. It's hard to do, you know. So, you know, and actually, Cliff brought up some good things, because I remember you asked him a question about like what he thought Kenpo needed, and he had brought up, or what you would add. And he brought up jiu-jitsu, I believe it was, right? You'd like to see more ground stuff. And he also, and this is kind of funny because we talked about this, and he had mentioned also he'd like to see something more done with the knife techniques and the gun. And as soon as he said that, a light went off. I'm like, man, I've been saying that for years. I had a conversation with Tatum over that. I said, Larry, I said, with all due respect, I said, you're the guy. You know, you're the one that, you know, everybody was looking up to at the time, and said, you the one that could change this, because the stuff that we're doing here, that's just going to get people hurt or killed, you know? So that was where I kind of, because of my career choice and what I do for a living, and I mean, I've been in the security industry my whole life, and I worked for a juvenile corrections facility, basically, is that's what they equated to. And so I knew right from the get-go with the stuff with the gun and knife wasn't going to work. So I kind of delved into that, and I've been working on gun stuff for years now, you know, and that's one of the things I'm really eyeballing and trying to look at a way to streamline it and make it more efficient and more effective, and bring it into the Kenpo world. And that's going to be coming out pretty soon. I've been working on it for a long time. And so, nice. Yeah, so a lot of times when I get asked to go and teach seminars and stuff, that's usually what comes up. So, you know, I'm not saying what I do is like the best. I don't want to come across that way, but I think it's relevant. You know, it's definitely worth taking a look at.
Nice, nice. We have a couple of comments here. Let's see. Jason Churchill says, Joe, we miss you, man. Joe and I buddied up to a great interactive zombie Nerf night video. Our union students have never been the same. All our students are looking forward to your visiting our studio and getting to train with you. 2021, it needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Let's see. Damien Abbott says, I don't know if Joe feels the same, but in my opinion, Kenpo is going through a change. There's a shift happening right now in the eras of its evolution. As I was reminded only today, connections you made decades ago take on a different meaning as you get older. Beyond the physical, that's what makes the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do agree with that. I think, you know, it's funny because I've heard this, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I've heard say, like, you know, we do seminars and stuff, and we always say, well, we don't want to change the Kenpo, or, you know, but when anybody gets out on the floor and they put their own flavor into it, you essentially, you've changed it, you know, to a certain degree, but you changed it in a way that you perceive it to be, for lack of better words, best for you, not necessarily everybody as a whole. We're not all robots. But either way, no matter how subtle it is, once you put your flavor on it, you've altered it on some level. And so we are changing it, and we are evolving, you know. And I think that people's life experience is really, really important, you know. You know, you look at like Cliff, he's got
ring experience. He's got actual fight experience. You got other people that have tournament experience. You've got people that have been in, assaults in the streets, robbed, this, that, their thing. I think people who have careers that plays a huge has a huge impact on your perception and your interpretation of Kenpo too.
Right.
Because all those things get put into what you think is going to work for you. Otherwise you wouldn't use it. Kenpo is great, but I'm a firm believer that you have to know a little bit of a soft style or even jiu-jitsu, because if you look at Kenpo, it's straight up, man, circuitry overload, right? You're just gonna unload, boom, 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 until it's over. But if you're in a career where you've got to manage a situation or someone's trying to assault you, then you need to have what I refer to as a soft style, like Aikido or some jiu-jitsu, where you can manage and control that individual. Now, that works if you have a job that requires you to do that, or if you are a law-abiding citizen, because we still have to answer to the law. And
Yes.
I think sometimes we get caught up in that. Like I watch, I've worked with Tim Hartman and Jason Arnold up in Canada, and they're phenomenal stick and knife guys. And I love them to death. But and they're really great at what they're doing. I talk to Jason all the time, but I don't get caught up in I understand the significance and the importance of the drills, but when it actually comes time to work with somebody, to me, that's where that balance comes in. When I start doing stuff with knife and sticks, I'm not going to get into slicing and dicing and hitting and clubbing the hell out of people, because I understand the reality of that is I'm never going to do that in the street, because I'm going to be spending the rest of my life in prison or the next 5-10 years in court, So I try to always make sure that I keep that element of reality into my training. That has to be there. And when I teach seminars, it's the same way. Like, you walk into a seminar, you've got all different levels of experience, and so that has to play a factor into how you present your material too.
Right.
If you're working drills because you want to hone and polish and sharpen things, then that makes sense. But if we're going to talk street and reality, then we've got to look at it from a completely different approach and a perspective. And I think that's where we kind of lose it, because we feel good, right? Like, we like the way we feel, we like the way we're moving, we like the way we're hitting. But when reality hits, you're not going to get away with that. So you got to have a way to control that situation too.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. And I think you have that approach because, like you said, you're in the security business.
Yeah.
And once you're in touch, whether police or just private security or any type of experience in that way, and you have that mindset, you understand that if you apply, for example, I don't know, I always tell this, like snap and twig, right? Somebody pushes you and you break the elbow, then hit the throat, break the nose, and break the jaw into pieces because you're doing a sandwich. That's excessive force. And I'm not saying the snap and twig doesn't work. I love the technique, right?
Yeah.
I really like training it. But
if
you don't tweak it, if you don't adjust it for the street, you will get in trouble with the law, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think if you want to be a responsible citizen, you need to consider those things. So yes, thank you for bringing that up. That's amazing.
Yeah. I deal with a lot of that, and I have, a lot of people say to me, "Well, I'll just, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a pistol permit, this, that, that." I say, you don't understand. The minute you pull that out of your holster, you're facing a felony. You're looking at being in court for whether you were justified or not. You're facing felony charges. You're gonna put yourself through it, your family through it for the next however many years until it all sorts itself out. And you hope to God it works out in your favor. But so. And then there's the other side of that too, where I was looking at like, well, I can't go to court if I'm not alive either, right? So, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be black and white, though.
It's tough. It is. It's really
doesn't
tough.
have to be black and white.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not black and white. I know that survival. When we think of survival, we think in terms of black and white. But if you think if you are operational, like if you're like a police officer or a security guy, if you're operating on the streets as a protector, you cannot think in terms of black and white. You need to
No.
think in terms of shades of gray. That's what the
Yeah.
use of force comes in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have
Absolutely.
levels of force.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
black and white. So it's
Yeah.
not the you know, the saying that is very to be judged by 12 and to be carried by 6.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be like that. What
Yeah.
happens in in-betweens?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be black and white? Because we're thinking in survival with our survival brain. And
Yeah.
when we are operating on the streets, you understand that you need to work with your emotional and your logical brain, not just the
Yeah.
survival one.
Yeah. And that's really important. I think, as far as a training tool, we do some, I won't say unique, but we just don't see it as often. And so one of the things that my students are required to do, which kind of prepares them for that on some level, is we do freestyle. So we also have sparring and stuff like that, but there comes a point in time when they get to a certain level, as far as rank goes, on every test, they get random attacks. They don't know what's coming at them. And what that does, it teaches them over time how to not just what to do physically again, because that's, because it is what it is, but emotionally, again, it goes back to the spiritual and mental aspect of it. It teaches them how to manage that adrenaline and those emotions of fear, the unknown. It teaches them, because we talk about circuitry overload and what's going to happen to our opponent, or our attacker, but that works on us too. That can work to our disadvantage too. So when we get attacked, and if you've never had to deal with that before, then you're gonna freeze up. So that's one of the reasons why, even with my kids, whether it's right or wrong, we know it's not going to be perfect, but I'll start them at 5 years old, and they'll get on their test, they'll get a little bit of freestyle, a little bit of that unknown. So they're learning how to respond, how to cope, how to manage those emotions. And then in turn, that cuts down their reaction time. So what they're seeing is a perceived mistake, which may or may not be true. Over time, they become more efficient. They learn how to manage it. And then that gap in time from that perceived mistake to their next follow-up is less. And so the transition that you see from a yellow belt to a brown belt is amazing. Forget black belt. It's just, but because you have people that just come in and they take martial arts for whatever reason, but that doesn't mean they necessarily know how to deal with those emotions, because they've never dealt with it. They've never been attacked. They've never been in a ring. They've never been in a tournament. So
Right.
in their mind, in their own mind, they think that just because they know their skills physically and they could be very good at what they do, that they're going to be able to take care of themselves and protect themselves. Well, maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I'm a firm believer that you have to step outside your comfort zone, whether you like it or not, from time to time, so that you know yourself.
Right.
And if you don't, you grow rust.
Yeah,
That.
you need to put yourself under pressure, under stress.
Yeah,
This is
absolutely.
how you handle it. Yes,
Yeah,
agree.
absolutely.
Totally. Okay,
Yeah,
we have
very
more
much so.
comments here. Fergus Kelly says, even if you start or art with the perfect mental capability, if you are on the wrong side of the split without knowing, you will struggle in certain company. I have Bob White, John Sepulveda, Eddie Downey, Jillian McDermott, Benny Orquides, John Burgess, and on my black belt cert, but my lineage is still an issue to some people. We need to unite. Yes, and great gentlemen, you have great Kenpo is there. My, salute to them all. Amazing, amazing men. Yes.
We had Benny the Jet out for my International Martial Arts Expo. I went to he was at the Speakman camps in Vegas as well. And one of the reasons I brought him back was I remember very clearly, he had just got done teaching. It was kind of funny. He was teaching a seminar, and you know how he is. He gets going, and then he keeps adding on. And so we were doing sparring drills and fighting drills. And he says, finally, get your gear on. So we started sparring a little bit, this and that and the other thing. And then he lines everybody up. And, you're talking hundreds of people. He lines everybody up, and he says, okay, now, he goes, if you want to do this, you can do it. If you want to, if you don't, you don't. He goes, but now we're going to hit for real. And I'll never forget that. It's the first time I've ever been somewhere. It's the first time I've ever been to a seminar where somebody said, now we're going to hit for real. And if you want to sit down, you can sit down. Half that room just went, whoo, and sat down, right? It was the funniest damn thing I've ever seen. But anyway, so we get done with the seminar, and this kind of touched my heart a little bit. Because you know how it is. They're stacked all day long. They'll get like a 10-minute break before they start the next class. So we get done, and everybody, the room clears out. I'm over in the corner, and I'm taking down notes. And he comes over, and he walks over to me. He says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Oh my God, I'm sorry." I said, "Do I need to leave? Whatever, blah blah blah." So I'm just taking some notes. He goes, "Why are you taking notes?" He goes, "Why don't you just come on up and ask me?" That man pulled me up and worked with me for 10 minutes. And, I was young back then. He worked with me for 10 minutes until this next class started, and that makes a big impression on you. So I knew that if I had my own seminar someday, that I was going to bring him back. So I brought him back here, and it was incredible, man. It was just unbelievable. Damien was there. Damien got to spend time with him, and we just had a great weekend, man. That guy is a true champion, but he carries himself in such a great way, man. Really.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's a great guy. Love to have him back too. I told him if they ever need me to throw me off a building as a stuntman sometime, let me know. I'm all broken up anyways. What difference does it make? Throw me into a jukebox, whatever you want to do. I don't care.
Nice. Angela says, being a single mom of 3 kids under 9, I always felt like I was on alert whenever I was out with them, constantly scanning and making sure folks don't get too close or get too acting froggy around my kids. Yeah. Yep.
Of course, you're the mother hen, man.
Yep. Oh yeah.
The mama bear is meaner than the papa bear.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's true, man. That's true.
They don't hesitate.
So Papa Bear's Benhar, she's Mama Bear.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Kenpo Online Self-Defense says, good to see you on Frank's show, Joe. Greetings from Ernest. Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh, cool, man. Thank you, Ernst. Thank you.
Hello, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Daniel says, hi, Mr. Kelly. I think if people are genuinely purveying of the art from their heart, the spirit that comes with that is as united as it's going to get. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ben Harm says, thank you for sharing, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. That's true what Damien says. Like, that's that old school mentality. But we weren't even allowed to talk. You just came out on the floor and you just worked. That was it.
Yermis Caraballo, what's up? Saludos, all the way to Brazil.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we have a couple of minutes left. We're almost done. That's been an hour already. It's been fast.
Yeah, that's amazing.
For sharing so many nice stories. But just before we go, I wanted to please, before I forget, could you share, if somebody wants to locate you, talk to you, your social media, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I don't have a Facebook. I don't have a website. I'm just not big on that. So all I do is I just do Facebook, and you can go to my personal page, and I was saying off screen that there's a couple of them out there. You go to my personal page. It's the one with there's right there the Roman helmet on there, and then you can also go to Pazzaglia's American Kenpo Karate, which is linked to that page. That's the best way to get me. I do everything through that or instant messenger. My phone number's on there. So yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much it. That's
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess we are out of time, but just one thing. When you talk about, old school and that you enjoy going up the Okinawan karate styles and all that ranks, do you feel that Kenpo needs that, or do you see the same thing, or how would you compare that? not Kenpo from a physical point of view, but from a spiritual point of view?
I think to a certain degree, there's definitely some truth to that. I think we have an obligation as presenters, as instructors, as like Damien had mentioned, there's like a new evolution, a new era kind of taking place. But the problem with that is you still can't forget tradition and you can't forget your roots. I think if we forget our traditional values and our core roots and things like that, then we're no different than the guy running a class down at the local YMCA, right? I think you have to maintain some of that because if and share that. It's really important. Like, we all kind of experienced that old school mentality on some level when we first started out. And because of the way society evolved and changed, we can't get away with the stuff that we used to anymore as far as running classes and things like that. But that doesn't mean that stuff is any less important. To me, it's even more important now. Because if you look at what's going on in the world around us, our students need that. They need to know that there's more to this. It's not always just, I understand that we train for perfection so that we're better equipped to deal with things in the street, but it's not always about how pretty you can make your form look or this, that, the other thing. So I think we do have a bit of an obligation to kind of toughen up the mind, so to speak, as instructors. Like, we owe that to our students to kind of share that experience that otherwise they won't get. Where do you see to see that? Like I said, I watch your videos and I'm like, people need to know what that's like, because you got the other side of that where people don't have that experience. And like I said, we're filling them with a false sense of bravado, right? If they've never had that experience, they've never been attacked in the street, they've never been outside their comfort zone, but we're sitting there and we're praising them because they do a beautiful form, and it is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but how does that help them in the street, right? They don't have the mental capacity to do that. So I think that we're doing them a huge favor when we kind of take them down that road a little bit. I'm not saying you got to, knock the hell out of them, but I'm saying there has to be that has to be part of their journey as far as kind of sharing those experiences with them. You look at it's still going on overseas, right? I mean, look at all these other countries, like what's going on in Russia and China and stuff, and North Korea and South Korea. I mean, they're still training hardcore, and look at how amazing they are, right? So I just think that that's we kind of owe it to our students, so that keeps them honest with themselves and humble, and also at the same time motivated to want to do better. Realize there's another side to it. That's reality, my friend. That's reality.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Well, thank you very much, sir. Rafael Herrera says, big salute from Andalusia, Spain.
Oh, thank you very much. And Frank, before you go, I know we're out of time here, but once again, I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for everything. Thank you for this opportunity. I think it's amazing what you're doing. I know everybody tells you the same thing, but I genuinely mean it. And thank you guys for anybody that's ever crossed my path. Thank you for everything you've ever done for me and helped me in any way. I really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Joe. This was amazing. I really had a great time. Thank you for being on the podcast. I'm really not doing that much. All of you guys are the ones doing the work. I'm just sitting and listening and having a great time, basically, every time. So thank you.
When do you want bringing us together?
Well, thank you. And it's my pleasure and my honor. That's for sure. Jasmine Squeaky Nose Chen says hello from the United Kingdom. Hello, Jasmine. And Richard Matthews says good stuff. Thank you, sir.
Oh, nice.
Let me just remind you before we go that we have our Kenpo Collaboration online seminar this Saturday, March 6th. Be there, be square. Come on, guys, sign up. We're gonna have amazing times. To the people that already signed up, thank you, and I'll hope to see you all there. It's gonna be, it's gonna be fun. That's for sure.
Yeah,
And also, well, next week we're gonna have amazing guests as well. So just keep on watching. Thank you again. Thank you for everything, Joe. This was cool. It's nice to get to know you better.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'm very honored to be able to give you the acknowledgement that you deserve.
Thank you so much, man. That was very kind. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, very much.
Well, thank you all. Let's see. Steve Harms says, it's something for me I've always felt was missing slightly from Kenpo, the spiritual side that was expressed more commonly with the Chinese traditional arts, or the Japanese arts for that matter, right? Great interview again. Pleasure to watch. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you, sir. You, both of you, Harms, are on my list. I will contact you soon if that's okay to have you on the podcast. So thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you, man. Thank you.
Have a great day. And tomorrow we have more coffee and martial arts. We're going to continue with the Budo section, sharing a little bit about the culture. Yeah, that's stronger than coffee.
Yeah, it's Italian coffee.
Espresso.
Well, take care. Thank you.
All right, man. Thank you. Ciao.